The Vancouver Canucks are the first team eliminated from playoff contention, as they will not be making the playoffs this year for the second straight season, and they are by far the worst team in the league. So let's take a look at what went wrong. We're going to do this for all 32 teams. Well, 31. There's going to be one winner at the end of this season. But Vancouver is just a far cry from the team that went to the second round, Game 7, and they were one win away from going to the Western Conference Finals, and that was just 2 seasons ago, and now they have fallen apart. Their roster isn't even remotely close to what it looks like. Obviously, last year they traded JT Miller. That trade didn't work out for either team. They traded Bo Horvat a couple seasons earlier, and Elias Pettersson has just crumbled. So their center depth went from elite to very, very mid, and that's just being generous at this point. Demko couldn't really stay healthy this year. He was okay this season, but obviously the biggest thing that happened was Quinn Hughes is gone. Arguably the best defenseman in the league, if not top 2 or 3. He's out of Vancouver, and the story was, would he re-sign? He's a free agent in 2027. They traded him while he still had a 1.5 years of term left on his contract, and they got a big haul back. Zeev Boyum, fantastic. That is going to be a foundational building block for Vancouver to rebuild, because make no mistake about it, they desperately need a rebuild. Liam Ogren, a kid who could potentially be a middle 6 forward, they acquired in the trade. He's been pretty solid since coming over, better than he was in Minnesota. And Marco Rossi, he's had a really rough year after being a 50, 60-point guy in Minnesota. They're going to need him to be that kind of guy, but he was not that this season. So Rossi was really kind of disappointing in that trade. Now, they did get a first-round pick, so they'll have 2 first-round picks coming up in the 2026 draft. Right now, they are slated to get the number 1 overall pick. We don't know about the draft lottery, but they're going to have at least top 3, top 4 pick. So hopefully they get a guy to really kickstart this rebuild. But they'll have second-round picks, multiple second-round picks for both this season and the next 2 seasons. They traded Kiefer Sherwood for 2 second-round picks. They traded Tyler Meyer, got a second-round pick out of that, and a third-round pick. And they traded Connor Garland, another second-round pick and a third-round pick as well. So they did make some moves at the deadline. They did trade away some players besides Quinn Hughes. They still have some guys on the roster that maybe at next year's trade deadline or in the offseason they continue to ship. But make no mistake about it, it's going to get a little worse before it gets better, because Vancouver was trying to compete this year, trying to make the playoffs. They built their roster to be a playoff-like roster, and it just failed miserably. So right now, they're fully embracing the rebuild. Don't expect anything too crazy in the offseason. I think they just kind of work on getting more youth, getting more speed, and getting some building blocks, whether that be Gavin McKenna or Stenberg in the draft or whoever they pick. That is what they're going to need. They're going to need a lightning ride. They're going to need a new face of the franchise after Quinn Hughes has left. And it's an uphill climb. But Vancouver fans, hang in there. It's going to be a rough ride, but hopefully they'll turn around pretty quick.